This year we have changed the organization slightly. The rabbis will be speaking in the initial part. So the second part will be with the unveiling of the plaques.
But life is a journey, a sacred pilgrimage made stage by stage, from birth to death to life everlasting.
It's going to be a time that those who are lying in the dust will rise. The righteous will rise and live again. It sounds a little bit outlandish, but that's part of a faith and part of a belief system. Maimonides, the great philosopher and codifier, codifies it as part of its 13 principles of faith in Judaism.
This is Psalm 30, a Psalm of David. Hear me, Adonai, be kind to me. Hear me, Adonai, be my help. You turned my mourning into dancing and changed my sackcloth for joyous robes. I shall never keep silent, Adonai, my God. I shall forever sing praises to your name.
Broken Open by Rabbi J. Michelson. When life is full of ease, spirituality is like cotton candy, fluffy, airy, and unserious. And then something happens. Someone gets sick, or a friend dies unexpectedly. And what are the forms which over the years people like me have created to contain this grief? Thus, pain becomes a gate to the recovery of the spiritual tones of living. Gemar Fatima Tova, may each of you be sealed in the book of life for a year of health and peace.
Hello, everyone. I am Ephraim Herrera, and I'd like to sing a psalm. It's Psalm 16, part of Psalm 16, and the words are so beautiful in Hebrew. I just wanted to go over the translation in English. First of all, the psalm is called Shiviti Adonai Lenegdi. I set the Lord before me at all times, since he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved. Therefore my heart is glad, and my spirit rejoices. Yes, my flesh dwelleth in security. For thou wilt not give me up to destruction, nor wilt thou suffer thy beloved to see corruption. Thou wilt show me the paths of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy, and thy right hand are pleasures forevermore.
So this is one of the nicest parts of this particular service. It's the dedication and unveiling of these plaques.
I'm Cindy Friedman. In this moment, I am representing Barbara Sussman, and I will read her words. Thank you to Doris Francis and Rabbi Malka Drucker for the wonderful sacred space you helped bring into being for all of us to remember with love those who are no longer with us in body, but who live on in our hearts and memories. I have dedicated 6 plaques, the most recent for my beloved husband of 54 years, David Sussman. While these families are buried in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Phoenix, and Berlin, New Mexico, they are together here in Santa Fe in our wall of remembrance. Thank you for this opportunity to have my beloveds together.
I am dedicating a plaque to my father, Dr. Brooks, whose name at birth was Abraham Blunt. He was born in Queens, New York, and one of 5 children of Jewish immigrants from what is now Belarus. He often said, I'm not a religious Jew, but I'm a cultural Jew. But he never forgot his heritage and his love for Jewish life and culture. And in spite of all of that, he remained a proud Jew.
Thank you, Doris, for the invitation to speak to you today. How many here knew Fred Egan? Fred was one of the outstanding and most influential anthropologists of the 20th century. He was the dean of Pueblo Indian Studies. My most recent book, published in 2014, was dedicated to Fred because about 90% of what I know came from Frederick Russell Bacon. Thank you very much.
A plaque was set up for Scott Jones. Scott was an extraordinary man. I remember in particular Scott's smile, warmth, and tenderness. Scott was a remarkably gentle, decent man. I was particularly struck by Scott's humanity, Scott's deep love and decency for everyone. And so when you visit Temple Beth Shalom, we encourage you to just pause at the flowers and the flower beds as you enter the temple. And remember Scott, whose goodness, whose decency, whose menschlichkeit blossoms and blooms every time we remember him.
Thank you. We'd like to give honor to Beth Moise, beloved wife of Steve Moise, who could not be here today. Many of you have known Beth here in Santa Fe over the last 30, 40 years. She's an absolutely brilliant woman, incredibly smart, with a PhD in economics and marketing. She traveled the world as a consultant to Fortune 500 companies. I think her greatest love and achievement surely was her family.
Let me just say thank you, and I wish everybody here who has a plaque to talk, because it's so meaningful to her. I thank you all very much. Cindy for choosing that together.
Yitkadal, Yitkadal, Shmei Rabba.
Amen. Shmei Rabban Korak.
Amen. Yeheshua Rabba Ichmaya. Yachayim Aleinu Be'alchos Israel. Amen. Say shalom b'brama. Ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu Be'alchos Israel. Al kol yoshvei tevel. Amen. Beautiful day to everyone.
Yes, there is memorial in
Please grab a candle there on the table, and there's some water on the table as well. How are you? Good.
Hi.